recommend you drop the whole idea of creating resolutions for the year or even setting a goal for the year or goals that go with the resolutions completely. Resolutions and goals tend to be weapons that we use against ourselves. So for example, goals, I'm going to lose 20 pounds, or the resolution of I'm going to lose 20 pounds. Resolutions and goals tend to point out to something that you're not satisfied with yourself. And we tend to take them in like a bat and hit ourselves over the head with. So, what I invite you to do is what I've been doing for the last several decades is create an intention for the year. Energy follows intention. The energy of our life follows our intention. And making these intentions conscious through creating and setting an intention will generate the energy of that intention. And so the reason to set intentions instead of goals or to use affirmations is because intentions are alive. They have that vibration of life and movement forward, and also how they're created, how they're written, how they're used. The wording of them is important. So instead of a goal, again, which is something that you basically use to hit yourself over the head with, I'm going to lose 20 pounds because I'm not happy, being 20 pounds overweight or whatever, or I'm going to write a book. I'm going to finally finish my novel. That certainly could be one of mine. We tend to hit ourselves over the head with that. And affirmations also have shown through research don't tend to work. People who actually need affirmations don't believe the affirmation they're telling themselves. So if you're walking down the street and saying, I'm a beautiful woman, but you're saying that affirmation because you really feel unattractive or old or ugly or whatnot, that's actually triggering that memory, that belief in you that, oh, I'm not so lovely, I'm not so wonderful. So affirmations only work for people who actually already believe the affirmation. So when I'm walking down the street and saying I'm a great old lady, then I believe that. And so that resonates with me. So it might strengthen that affirmation, but affirmations as a transformational tool to ignite change, positive energy does not work, especially on its own. So set aside resolutions, set aside goals, and set aside affirmations and create an intention. And an intention is an affirmative statement that starts with I. So, for example, affirmation is I am beautiful, I am smart, I am courageous. Where an intention is I, and it's an action word, it's a verb. I trust, I ignite, I explore, I discover, I live. So my intention for 2025 was I bring appreciative presence or I bring appreciative joy. And that intention was one I used throughout 2025. And one way to use an intention is to basically carry it in your back pocket. It's something that you don't just, think about, in the morning or once a year, like writing out a list of resolutions. It is something that you practice every day and you study it. You can even study the words that are in your intention. Like, for example, in mine, my word was appreciation and being appreciative. So I study that. There's lots of um, information and knowledge about appreciation in many Buddhist teachings, for example, but you can find it in other spiritual teachings as well. What is appreciation? What does it look like? What does it feel like? How do I bring appreciation to this? So I explored, I studied, and I lived that intention, especially at times I found there might be something just off, not right, where it's feeling upset. I'd bring my intention to me and I'd say, how far away is my intention from me right now, and what may I do to bring it closer into me? And sometimes I would actually do something, whether it be change my attitude or whether it might be actually taking an action. And sometimes it was just asking the question. More often than not, it was just asking the question. So then going back to actually creating your intention, it's I in an action word. So I bring joy into my life. I courageously seek truth, whatever it might be. So let's say you do want to lose weight, that seems to be such a common resolution, um, or write a book, but we'll use the weight one first. So I want, instead of saying I'm going to lose 20 pounds, instead of that, you might say I live an active, healthy life, or I eat mindfully. So there you have that intention of I live a healthy lifestyle so that you can be brought up anytime. I eat or live mindfully can also be brought up, obviously with every meal. And you can learn, what does that mean to be mindful? Or I mindfully live, or I mindfully engage in dot dot dot. So the idea being, it's an active word that engages you, makes you curious, allows you to explore what it means, and create it in the moment, or at least invite it in the moment. So I invite you to create an intention for 2026. I am leaning towards mine being I gift mindfulness, or something to do with mindfulness. I find that to be one of the biggest gifts we can give other people, this mindful presence, and that we can give ourselves. So mine is, I'm leaning toward mindfulness. So what do you want to experience in 2026? What do you want to attract to you? Energy follows intention. What do you want to follow you? Gathering together intentionally can be a very powerful way to fulfill and engage our intentions. And I'm going to be co-facilitating a year-long journey with Karina Stevenson starting this January called Hosting Our Edges. Check it out.